My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Sisu. And this is a movie I thought looked great. The trailer made it look like a badass World War II action movie, so I just went into it hoping to have a fun time, and this movie just failed for me in every possible way. Like, where to begin? Well, you know what? I hate the current trend of modern action movies where the main character is invincible. The guy in this movie cannot be killed, and it crosses the line and suspends disbelief just way too often and just to an excessive degree. Like, there was one scene in particular around the halfway mark where I just rolled my eyes all the way to the back of my head, and I'm like, really? Like, I can forgive it a few times, but no, like, this is just too much. And if it's a fun, over-the-top, silly movie, I can forgive it. But this movie is not that. It takes itself very seriously, and like, it just, like, because of that, there are no stakes because I don't believe he can die at all. So there's also no tension and there's also no thrills, and because of that, this movie was just an empty experience. And if, like, the action was frequent and well shot, then maybe I could have still just had fun for what it was. But you can't even do that because despite what everyone is telling you, this movie has almost no action. There is one great scene early on, and that's the movie's peak. The first action scene is great, and it never comes close to that again. And, like, I'm just telling you, there's almost no action, so please adjust your expectations accordingly. And when I was at the gym after this movie, I was just thinking to myself that it reminded me of that Samuel L. Jackson movie, Big Game, because that movie I thought could have been a really fun action movie, and then I watched it and I hated it because it was an action movie with no action. So right before I filmed this review, I looked up the director, who's named Jamali Hillendor, and it's the exact same guy. So it's like, this guy wants to make action movies with no action, and he also made this Christmas movie called Whale Exports, which should be this fun, goofy Christmas horror action movie, but once again, it avoids any bit of action or horror every chance it gets. Like, this guy just wastes the potential of the premises he works with, and it's a real shame. But it doesn't just fail as an action movie, it fails as a movie period, because there is no story here. The entire movie is, dude has gold, Nazis want gold, it's a chase. So you could maybe compare it to Mad Max Fury Road, but that movie had incredible action, had top-notch filmmaking. It was thrilling, it was tense, it was visually stunning, but it also had solid character work. And this movie has none of that. There is zero character work here. I don't even know the dude's name. I don't even know if he said almost anything. The guy is just boring, so I had no investment in what would happen to him. And any bit of character work he does have is just a blatant ripoff of John Wick. It's very clear the premise for this movie was John Wick, but in World War II. And the way they hype this character up, it was just too apparent. And it really took me out of it. And just for the record, the first John Wick looks like a character-centric masterpiece compared to the character work in this movie. And it's just a very boring movie. Like, it starts off and it's dull, and I was bored, and that just carried throughout the majority of the one time. What else can I say about this movie? Oh, there is one scene near the end of this movie where a bunch of women kick ass, and it is the most pandering scene ever. It is unneeded. It comes out of nowhere. None of these characters are developed at all. It just reminded me of The Boys Season 2. Girls get it done. And that's exactly what it felt like here. But, yeah, Sisu was a giant pile of shit. I guess it could have been a fun World War II action movie, and there's one good action scene, and there's a scene when someone gets a mine thrown at him and he blows up. It's in the trailer, but it's still awesome. But yeah, like that's as positive as I can go for this movie. I hated my time watching it. It doesn't deliver on the action. There's no stakes. The hero's immortality is just absurd. The story and character work is... just avoid this movie. I'm gonna go ahead and give Sisu a 2 out of 10. Okay, have you seen Sisu? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon. And Gavin out.